Thanks again for all you do. Looking forward to you reading this in a month.
Ooh. Hey, try a year.
This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
This ain't the intro, it's the entree. No problem with opening up with a little Chance. The rapper?
The rapper?
Chase could have been Chase the rapper if that wasn't taken.
Yeah.
How y'all doing, y'all?
I'm doing all right.
Good to see you.
Back in the studio.
Back in the stew. You already know what it do.
Back in the Half Blue studio.
It's a little bit more blue today.
It's a little more blue. Chase and I, we did a little more blue. Bluedio. All right, what are we doing on this episode, PD? Tell them what we're doing.
We're talking about stuff that's blue. Corbin blue?
Corbin blue?
Smurfs?
Cordon Dijon blue?
Blue from Blue's Clues.
The ocean?
Bluey?
Not near America. Not
the
that
sky,
ocean.
which isn't blue, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Stick around.
Well, I guess some parts
Blue
of
Man Group.
the ocean around America are blue, but not all.
Yeah, maybe in Florida.
But more importantly, besides the blue talk, we're reading y'all's emails.
Yes.
Listen, we're tired of being hounded. Reading y'all's. This is wow.
Wow. Power move. Chase just...
Wow. 100 and something episodes. Chase kicked the recliner up on this episode.
We're reading emails.
We reading emails today, y'all. You're the only person who's got a recliner,
I'm
too.
going to stop that because I'm a little bit in everybody's way.
How did I never think to do that? This whole, the whole run of this
If
podcast
anybody
in
was
the
to kick the
studio.
recliner out of the one chair that reclines, it would be you.
That does sound like a PD move.
Yeah. You got you competing. Were you competing with another you? It's two PDs.
Two Spider-Men pointing at each other.
All right, we're reading email. First and foremost, what do we want to say, guys? Patreon's popping.
Yes,
thank you so
is.
much.
Yeah.
We're almost at Jackie Robinson number.
Golly, man, we're almost at 42.
Yeah. Hopefully, by the time you hear this, we'll be way past 42.
Let's go. We appreciate y'all's support, man. That's we love it. I think we have added a mentor level for $20.
Okay.
By this time, if you're listening to this, be one of our mentors.
Yeah.
And write quotes so we can say, a mentor once told me. And we're just quoting whatever
You need to talk to us like you're Gary V.
Maybe we could... no, we don't need another mentorship Discord. That's too many Discords already. We going through y'all's emails today. We appreciate... Somebody sent a lot of memes.
Yes.
About how we don't read emails.
Threatening memes.
Very
I think
threatening.
Chase called them.
Yeah. Mad threatening. And Chase, could you kill the AC? I pressed the button, but it didn't. But also, do we want to burn... Like, I'm fine with the noise. Like, I don't want to heat up this episode.
Yeah, I got a hoodie on. I'm good. Y'all can freeze.
Yeah, let's just leave it on. It doesn't matter. Shop talk! The studio, the room we're in is tiny. I don't think we can stress that enough, guys. This room, it looks good. It's small. But somebody sent a bunch of memes about how we take forever to read emails. And our response is always, write better emails. But no, write shorter emails. But this episode, PD called it the email extravaganza.
Yes.
So consider this email extravaganza part 1.
Well,
Right?
I don't know if the emails need to be shorter. I think like our riffs about Tracy
email.
Morgan or robots or whatever, they need to be shorter so then we could get to more emails.
I think we should start with the email of the guy who keeps sending the threatening memes.
Of course.
Which
because
is
those threats are going to escalate past memes.
I don't want to get John Lennon.
Over this podcast. Hold on.
The subject is the spoon scandal.
Okay, hold on a second. Sheesh. Okay, we got too many Patreon emails. The spoon scandal.
Yeah, stop giving us money.
Guys, please, guys. We're
So
tired.
annoying.
We're tired of what date was that sent? Do you know when that was sent?
A long
second.
time ago.
I just need I need to search it real quick.
I can tell you the exact date.
I can just search it. The spoon scandal. Okay. This is from, oh my gosh, June 14th of last year.
No wonder he was threatening us.
I'd threaten us too. The subject is the spoon scandal from the master of content. Okay. No, we're going to get through the email first. Hello there, I'm going to save my remarks. Hello there, Shama PD, Chase, and recurring guest. No recurring guest on this one. If you were the real master of content, you'd know that. Ooh. In the summer of 2018, a friend's heart shatters into fractals after the girl of his dreams declines his gift of a singular spoon. That's a very middle school romantic attempt. I gave her a spoon, you know.
And I was like, "Hey,
Yeah,
want a
hey,
spoon?
You want a spoon?
Was
Later,
it a fancy
of course.
spoon, a plastic spoon? Come on, I need details.
Was it a spork?"
This is just the email extravaganza over. His gift of a singular spoon, thus unleashing his teen angst in a hilarious display. My friends and I, all in the 7th grade, you didn't have to tell us that. We kind of guesstimated that, are just vibing in the camp cabins while teasing our friend Levi, who likes this girl from another youth group at the camp.
What a loser.
That's essentially long distance dating. Liking a girl from another youth group, that's like dating somebody across the world.
Pretty much.
Because you can't drive and, you know, proximity. Like, it's just everything's ruined. Yeah.
You might Snapchat for a week.
You might. PD and I, we wrote a song about this. PD, me, and Drew wrote a song about camp crushes called Camp Crush.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll drop it in the... Hey, we'll drop it in the Patreon. No, I don't even know.
We could drop the demo.
We'll
That's
drop
all
the
we
demo
have.
in the Patreon.
It's really good.
So if y'all are like, oh man, I don't want to pay for the Patreon, you're never gonna hear Camp Crush. You're gonna hear it when it comes out.
You could have heard it, but then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Derailed our plans.
So my friends and I on the 7th grade, we're just vibing in the camp cabins while teasing our friend Levi, who likes to come from another youth group at camp. Our youth pastor, who is bunking with us, overhears and tells us that this camp has a tradition of kids giving spoons to their crush. This camp leader, he's a pro. Smash cut to the lunch tables. Smash cut? That's great editing.
He is the master of content.
Maybe. Levi's sitting down with us as the girl walks by. He tries giving her a spoon, but she makes a weird face and keeps walking, as she should have. Minutes later, before we leave, the girl's leader places a spoon at our table. Naturally, Levi is confused and decides to have a talk with the youth pastor about it back at the cabins. Star wipe to the cabins. I mean, he's back at it. He's star wipes to the cabins. Yeah, he really is. Our whole group is gathered to listen to Levi accuse our youth pastor of setting him up. He claims the girl's leader gave him the spoon, thinking at the time that it was from the girl he liked. His next assumption was that our youth pastor put the girl's leader up to it to mess with him. But then one friend sitting at a lower bunk, there's classes in the bunks? All right.
One of the lower class members.
I want to talk. Were you a 1%er at this camp, Master of Content? One of the lower bunks that the girls, but then one friend sitting at a lower bunk clarifies that the girl's leader put it in the middle of the table. Middle of the table. The youth pastor responds with, "Whoa, this is an important detail. How did you know it was for you? It could have been for any one of us," and points around the room at all of us. Levi defends himself by shouting, "Because I like her! Because I have hopes and dreams!" Levi's friend sitting next to him also defends, "Because we've openly talked about this in the cabin room, and you and youth pastor may or may have not been present." Then Levi wails in pubescent agony, "Because you're purposefully messing with my emotions!"
What is this?
Then further defends himself, "We had conversations about her before. You knew I was talking about her before." The accused claims in earnest, "I had no idea who she is." "Yes, you did," wails our tragic romantic from a top bunk as he throws down a stuffed snake, which he brought, and his friend named Lonk Boy. Okay. After a few more seconds of anarchy, the youth pastor announces, "It's super simple. If you get a spoon, you know what that means. If you give her a spoon, that's it." So should I give her a spoon? You choose. I don't know why I'm yelling. Levi throws his 2 mini cans of Bush's baked beans onto the counter from the top bunk, leaps down to the floor, and breaks into a full sprint, proclaiming with fierce determination, "Let's go, fellas!"
Can you try to give me a summary of this so far?
Chase, are you
'Cause
keeping
I feel
track?
From what I understand, and again, this is just what I understand. He tried giving her a spoon. She didn't want the spoon, and then the girls.
Cabin put the spoon. Cabin leader Yeah, the girls' cabin leader.
Girls' cabin leader put a spoon in the middle of the table of all of the guys, and they went back to the cabin. They thought they were being messed with their youth leader, and then him and the youth leader were in a back and forth about, well, I don't even know what this means. Well, yes, you do. You're messing with me. No, I'm not. How about you just go give her a spoon?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
This is like a
So then, let me
customs in a different country.
So should I give her a spoon? You choose. Levi throws his 2 mini cans of Bush's baked bean onto the counter from the top bunk, leaps down to the floor, breaks into a full sprint, proclaiming with fierce determination, "Let's go, fellas!" Our youth pastor yells back, "Do you even know where she is?" As he puts on sunglasses, and Levi's aforementioned friend simply responds, "Love has a way," and runs off with another friend after Levi.
Goldblum?
Immediately after those two take off trying to find him, Levi comes back in the room and joins the rest of the group as we all head out for worship. Oh, and as we're leaving for the sanctuary, one other friend asks our youth pastor, "Kyle, why are you doing this on his birthday?"
It's his birthday.
Wow.
Finn. That's it. Space Finn. Thank you guys for reading my story. Shama, congrats on the new gun. And a daughter, too, I guess. Oh, that's reference to my song. PD, I'm waiting for that Questionable Partners podcast show with Matt from Memes for Jesus.
Oh.
Questionable Partners. Chase, love what you and Robert are doing on Written By. I look
thank
forward to
you.
Mondays now.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
Written By Mondays. And another big thanks to the host for giving me a chronic addiction to 30 Rock. Love the show. Keep doing what you love doing. Booth McGinnis. I don't expect to be the next Matt Malonga, but I figured I'd leave my number anyway in case you want to hear more about my wacky friend. As I'm writing this, I'll be headed off to high school camp in a couple of days, so I may have another story by the time you call me.
And then a
Phone
year
number.
later.
Do we call him?
We'll call you when the... Do we want to call him?
Sure. I mean, we can keep reading emails.
Well, he also sent a video, too.
Oh.
Hold on a second. Let me see here.
Oh, now I get a little bit...
Because I got a spoon.
He does have a spoon.
Yeah, he
Okay,
does.
so
yeah,
we actually got
there's-
footage of the incident.
Yeah. But this is one of those chaotic youth group conversations where you're like, man, if you weren't there,
You just don't
bother
get it.
don't bother retelling it or explaining it because it's chaotic.
Yeah, I do appreciate that he had footage.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good story, too.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there.
Yeah, when you said baked beans, it's like, all right, slow it down. Like, what?
Yeah.
What's
He
going
he has a knack for storytelling.
A knack. Guys, also the email. We got a lot of copyright claims. PD, we need to figure
Oh,
out,
shoot. Really?
yeah. You've been playing a lot of, every time you play an instrumental
Really?
or beat, when we put it up on YouTube, yeah, it's, Mr. YouTube's comes after us. Let's
Wait,
read
what
it.
all have we put on YouTube?
Okay,
Just the past few episodes.
Oh, okay.
we're taking it all the way back. Man,
Guess
okay,
I'll stop playing music.
let's take it all the way back to the beginning here. I don't even know where to start with these emails. Man, this 2018, that's too far back. Sorry, guys. We got to...
If you send an email before 2019, resend it.
Resend it. Okay. The Camp Ghosts and Cannolis. All right. This is from my buddy Tony Fagan. Him and his family are missionaries. I'll let you read that one. Hold on. Let me turn off the air, though.
Man, watch my SpongeBob music thing take down the whole podcast.
Well, I think we just recently got monetized on that channel, right?
Well,
I'm
it doesn't
about to
matter
take
that
it
we're
all away.
monetized.
If they keep getting
PD
taken down.
keeps playing I Ripped My Pants.
So this is from
PD, a menace.
Tony.
The Menace.
Is it Fagan? Is
Fagan,
that
yeah.
Fagan?
Tony Fagan.
First off, love the podcast and the many stories here. Thank you. So during my high school and college summers, I worked at the same church camp in South Carolina. Hey, that's where we live.
Yeah.
I was there for high school, middle, and kid ages, the youngest group being 7 to 10-year-olds. I think lights out for the cabins was around 10 p.m. for those kids. Well, we had one cabin that only had 3 kids in it that was being so loud one night that other counselors were complaining. I was one of the camp leaders that year, so me, one of the counselors, and the other head of camp approached them to have a talk with these kids. One of the counselors who joined us proceeded to tell us that these 3 kids had a ghost Wait. One of the counselors who joined us proceeded to tell these 3 kids that there was a ghost who lived in the woods behind their cabin and would walk around getting the kids who stayed up after midnight. After hearing the story, one of the kids ran into his bed and jumped under the covers. The other 2 started jumping and said, "Let those ghosts come up in here and we'll punch them in their cannolis until they fall over and die again." Me and the other leaders...
I don't think you know how ghosts work.
Me and the other leaders did all we could to not laugh as we turned off their light, told them to go to sleep, not to punch ghosts, and walked away. Here's to no more punched cannolis.
I think the thing that's terrifying about the idea of ghosts is you have no way to fight back. You just go through them. So if there's a ghost
expert PD Bachman.
I'm just theorizing. Right? I don't have any ghost experience, but I feel like it would be. I mean, your first instinct would probably be throw a punch, but then it would just go right through them. And then what do you do?
Well, then can the ghost throw a punch at you?
I think so.
We're getting into real ghost physics here. So, like, what do you have to be afraid of if all you can do is woo and then go through you, or you go through him?
But if they can, like, slam doors and stuff, they can hit you, right?
But, okay, is the worst thing that a ghost can do hit you? Like, what's so scary about ghosts? What can they do? Can they, like, make you have, like, a heart attack or something? I don't know.
Or, like, I don't know, make you see stuff that's not there, like... what? Yeah, we need to move on.
This is from Riley Whittington, the one about the surprise talent. Hold on, let me put my phone on. Do not disturb. D&D, your phone. Oh, crap.
Ooh, liquid death.
Liquid death all over the place.
All right. Hello, Paul David and Shamama. No mention of Chase.
This is BC.
When was this?
This is
When
by
was this?
Riley
This is
Whittington
BC.
in March 19th, 2021.
Oh, you were
So
here?
Wow,
Chase,
that's just disrespectful.
That's close. Well, also, we didn't do anything consistently, so no, you were
Well,
still in
maybe-
school then. You were still in school.
Oh, yeah.
March?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We had you on when it worked.
That's how backed up we are on emails?
Yeah. You were still. Yeah, I remember that.
Dang.
No, I was on the podcast.
Were you really?
Yeah.
March?
I've been on the podcast for over a year now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe this person hadn't got to that
Maybe they
point
just
yet.
didn't
Maybe
wanna
they were
acknowledge you.
listening from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
That is a
or
possibility.
they just hate Chase.
I mean, that's also a strong
They just
possibility.
hate, and they're like, "No, I'm not even gonna mention it."
Me and Shama hate Chase too. We let him show up here.
You know what they say? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
I'll see you guys at therapy.
All right, Riley Whittington. Hello, Paul David and Shamama. Every year, my church has a talent show around Halloween. The talents range from serious to not so serious. Anyways, one of my friends had the greatest idea ever for a talent. When we signed up, we put down that our talent was a surprise talent. After memorizing the dance moves from the Just Dance Wii game, classic, the night came. Luckily, we were able to get put last in the night. The room was dark and the 4 of us marched to the stage. The lights flashed on, revealing some dudes in tight clothes facing away from the crowd. My friend's jeans were so tight, he pretty much waddled, and afterward, he needed his sister to help get them off. I was wearing my... I was wearing my sister's skinny jeans with bedazzle beads on my pockets. Okay, this is very interesting. The song began and we all raised one finger to the air. Who were we? One Dimension. As we danced, semi in sync, we also lip synced to What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. It was awesome. Towards the end, some of the crowd ended up standing and some pulled out their phones and turned on their phone flashlights. They even began clapping on the beat. Wow, that's an accomplishment. Once the song finished, the lights went off and we ran out of the sanctuary. Needless to say, we won. Once the show was over, people ended up coming up to us and taking pictures. I even gave someone my signature. Anyways, thanks for the pod and weird stories. In Christ, Riley W. I'm a dude, just to clarify. Riley is both a guy's and a girl's name. Well, thank you, Riley.
I used to do camp bits, like church bits like that, where, man, if you show up with pants that are a little too tight, that's comedy I mean, you're practically SNL. You're Robin Williams in his heyday if you do that.
I did a bit like that.
Ooh-wee.
Just like dancing wildly
Ooh.
to... But okay, I'll get into this a little bit. It was Agape, Camp Agape.
Yeah.
And we had this song planned. We were gonna dance to this song called "Africa's Anointed," which is a song that my dad had on his iPod, and they were like, "You can't do this." They told me and my cousin, like, "No, you can't. Like, this is offensive. You can't."
Was it like an African song?
Yeah, it was. Which I didn't think I was being offensive. I just thought it was a fun song.
What kind of dancing were you gonna do?
Oh, we were just like, we don't know how to dance. We were just like throwing our arms around.
Like
wildly.
Africans?
No. That wasn't the intention.
Oh, okay.
Sean. It was just to be
I'm trying
silly.
to figure out. Oh, I didn't know. So why did they shut you guys down?
Well, they ended up just changing the music. Like we stood up there forever, and we're like, I remember looking over to the sound people. I was like, "Where's the music?" I don't think they told us until we were actually until after that they weren't going to play it. So we just stood there forever waiting for our music, and then we're like, "All right, whatever. We'll just dance."
To no music?
Yeah.
Dang.
Guys, PD is diamond level ally. If he wants to dance to Africa's Anointed, he can do that. PD's an ally. PD's got BLM tattooed across his back like it's his jersey name. All right? I'm just kidding. You don't have that. But
I was about to say, I'm not going to come with receipts on that one. Speaking of receipts, like we need pictures of the bedazzled pants and stuff.
Yeah.
They're in this email.
Guys, if y'all are talking about a topic, like, we got to see it. Our boy McGinnis, he sent us a little bit of a video of them arguing in the cabins. You know what it is. Maybe we'll drop that on the page. This next one is called moved it to the trash. Sorry, I meant to unpin it. Got it. This is from Robert McClure.
The Roger Robert McClure.
He did the McClure drop. We've already had Robert McClure.
Yeah,
on.
we've had him a couple times before.
Okay, this is the one time at a lock-in. Hopefully we haven't read that. Salutations, Shaman Meme and PT Barnum and Chase. I'm so glad you guys talked about Hero, the rock opera. Recently. We did that very recently for the sake of your email. It was so underappreciated in its time, I was going to show it at a lock-in I was hosting back in 2004. I used to be a youth pastor, of course. I also worked at a pizza place, of course. Hey, you had the same come up as me. Where's your VeggieTales remix, Robin? I never got to share it, though, because I planned games first. What is a lock-in without games, and what are games without blindfolds and obstacles? Am I right? So I had the kids leading each other through a makeshift maze in blindfolds. What could go wrong? I will now tell you. A kid in a blindfold could possibly knock the church's projector off its stand. That's what could happen, and it did. That's what could happen, and it did. The projector wasn't permanently damaged, thankfully, but it didn't work for the rest of the night. The kid felt terrible. It totally wasn't his fault, but we roasted him over it for at least a year. At our next lock-in, we made a rules video because it was 2005, and 20% of youth ministry back then was making silly videos for the events. One of the rules was don't touch the projector, and the video featured my brother-in-law wearing a blindfold, finding the projector, it was a fake one, and proceeding to maliciously destroy it. Good times. If you want to know a ridiculous amount of useless information regarding Hero, give me a call. Phone number, and then your brother in crust. That's a pizza reference. Robert McClure, the Roger. He had it. He put it in the thing. Hey, your brother in crust. Can you pick up that belt real quick? Hand it to me. Robert McClure.
Are you going to put it on your phone?
Yeah, this is Robert McClure. You win pun of the episode so far.
Shama has the belt on his phone.
Yeah,
those
with
not
the
watching.
email.
Yes,
Wear it
this is-
sideways. So
this is an audio medium.
unless
for the
somebody
most
can top brother in crust, that's you. Let's read another email. We're getting through them, fellas.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will cease the mass riots in the streets from everybody who sent an email that hasn't been read.
Maybe it'll cease mass riots in general. Maybe we solved everything.
World peace after we empty this inbox, y'all.
This email is from Hunter Phillips, and it's called Being Banned from a Hotel at a Youth Camp. I went to a youth thing one time, and we got kicked out of our motel.
I was about to say, I just had a flashback to like a conference? Or
I don't know why, but it's just like it's. Oh my gosh, we got kicked out. I got kicked out of a Chick-fil-A one time with a bunch of people. They were in
there.
You were there?
Yeah.
Y'all were playing in the freaking playground.
I wasn't.
Oh man. Well, it was all fine until the manager of that Chick-fil-A called the church secretary the other day. And then she had to like tell me like, "Hey, I got a call from the manager at Chick-fil-A." And I mean, I thought the Chick-fil-A employees weren't snitches, man. I thought they were cool. I thought they'd keep it on the DL, but they didn't. It was fine. We just kind of
Maybe they're just
misrepresented the
looking
church.
out for children.
There were no kids. It was like 10 p.m. There were no kids, just us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chase.
Hey, Shama and PD, big fan of the show and all the stuff that you do.
And Chase.
No, it's okay.
No.
Chase
no.
snubbed
No,
twice already.
PD's made it very clear about my place.
Yep.
So on to the story. When I was going into 8th grade...
Wait, who is this from?
Hunter Phillips.
Hunter Phillips, okay.
When I was going into 8th grade, we were just witnessing our youth ministry build up at my church. Our youth pastors, who were my parents, decided it would be the best to take us to youth camp for the first time. We went down to a youth camp in Daytona Beach, Florida, and stayed in a big condo-style hotel as a prize for being one of the first youth ministries to sign up. It had everything, from full-sized kitchens to huge bathrooms, and most importantly to this story, balconies. This is really similar to my story. For future reference, we were on the 21st floor. So one night at the camp, we all had come back from the conference. Some of the guys had decided to walk out on their balcony. We were hanging out when some girls from a floor down and 2 balconies over started talking to us. After a few minutes, one of them asked if we wanted to play a game from our balconies, and we said sure. All of a sudden, after a few minutes of them going back into their condo, we are getting pelted with pickles. Fun game.
Who, the
food
girls or the guy or the
girls?
Balcony food fight. That sounds fun.
That does sound really cool.
Okay.
On the 24th floor too.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like you're gonna make a giant mess everywhere.
Also, a lot of casualties. A lot of people just like
Lots
somebody
of-
minding their business, taking a pickle slice to the face.
Pickle juice flying everywhere.
Yeah. Ooh, flick it on my sandwiches for flavor.
I quote that all the time. Still,
Shout out to Hannibal Buress, man.
We look down and they literally have jars upon jars of pickles.
What?
That they are using to fight us with.
Okay.
so they went out and stocked up.
Yeah, it's like they had this in mind. How did they know that there was going to be someone on the balcony?
Like, we don't fight somebody at the balcony.
As stupid and testosterone-filled young guys, we decided it would be best to throw them back, but we were having a hard time hitting them because they could duck under the other balconies. So one brilliant 9th grader decided it would be best if he climbed over to their balcony. Oh
and
no.
they're on the 24th floor.
Yeah.
This is one of those stories that can end with like
Murder.
All right,
Death.
throwing
Sheesh,
pickles,
man.
fine. Jumping from balcony to balcony where you could die.
you're not Jackie Chan, man.
No, there's only one.
So that's what he did. He climbed down from the 21st floor to the floor below and climbed 2 balconies over and proceeded to pelt the girls with the same pickles that they were throwing at us.
So he risked death and he made
And
it.
he made it.
What?
Thankfully, he made it safe and snuck back over to our room before anyone noticed he was gone.
Wait, do you have to climb back up?
Yeah. I wonder how close the balconies were. Because that's
Or at
sketchy.
that point, did he just like go inside one of the other rooms and then go back? I don't know.
Oh,
but-
maybe.
Sheesh.
Fast forward to the next year, we're signing up for the same camp when we get an email from this camp office. We find out that the condo we stayed at had removed themselves from the housing list because of reports of students swinging from balconies. In the same email, the camp organization attached a new set of rules for each youth ministry to agree to before they could sign up for a beach camp.
Just pickles, no swinging.
Each rule was still the same except for one. The rule was students are not allowed to jump from balcony to balcony on any condo locations. Doing this will result in immediate cancellation of the youth camp activities for that ministry. Ever since then, the youth camp organization also publicly announces it to the beach camp attendees live from the stage. This would be in front of thousands of students, by the way. So now, I'm a 21-year-old youth pastor myself in Florence, Alabama, who has taken youth to these same youth beach camps. Every time they tell this rule, I laugh a little on the inside knowing that my buddies and I were part of why that rule was made. Thanks again for all you do. Looking forward to you reading this in a month.
Hey, try a year.
in Christ, comma, Hunter Phillips.
So I was right. There's nothing in that law about throwing pickles.
No.
So they can still throw pickles.
Pickles are still a go.
Yeah, according to the conference law.
Oh man, dude,
That's a good story.
Y'all risked it all. Prayer with a capital P. I think we've read that one before. Prayer with a capital P. Shall we read that? Does that sound familiar?
I honestly have no idea.
I can read it and let you know if it's been read before.
This is rip. This from April 1st of last year. You're not gonna fool us, Bex. Rebecca, you're not slick. PD, you got it. I don't think we read it.
This is another one with no chase.
Guy, April 1st. When did you start? Legit.
I'll go look. I'll go look.
Like as if it's a government job. This is a job with no benefits. The
Right.
benefit is just clout.
Hey man, the benefit is getting to hang out with you guys.
We should add Church Stories Dental, so it's just you get clout, and occasionally you can get your teeth cleaned since you're talking, I guess.
And if we get injured on the job, there could be workers' comp.
My first.
Well, no, not workers' comp. If you hurt a couple teeth, yeah, I mean we'll
Oh.
cover the podcast. Will
So if
cover
I
that.
fall down those stairs, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I could tape up your arm, but I don't. That's out of your coverage.
My first episode was January 19th, 2021.
Really? And people ain't acknowledging you.
The first episode of
Wow.
season 4.
People could be behind and not
Yeah, they
know
could be
about
behind,
Chase's
yeah.
existence.
No,
yet.
it's okay. I know what it is.
This is the third time Chase has been snubbed today. This is something else.
Yeah,
Anyways, prayer with a capital P. That's not the letter P. That is PEE.
Tell them.
By Bex 476, which sounds like a Star Wars name.
Sounds like a robot. Bex 476 Bex.
Hi, Shama
Reporting for
Mama
duty.
and PD PEE dash D.
PD.
My name is
Stampede.
My name is Rebecca, and I am a senior in college about to graduate with a degree in youth ministry.
Well, congrats on graduating last year.
Yeah. Also a degree in youth ministry. Not real. I'm kidding, Rebecca.
So I've collected my fair share of interesting church stories over the past few years. One of my weirdest happened in 2019 when I was working for a small mission trip company as a summer intern. Basically, we lived at a church all summer, and each week we would have a new youth group from somewhere in the U.S. come stay at the church for a week to do mission work in the community and have a worship program each night. I loved this job and all the craziness it brought. Usually the groups that came in were super high energy and really fun to work with, except for this one group. I tried everything to make sure this group had fun throughout the week, or at least a mediocre experience. So she was like, she had given up on having a good one. She's like, I'm aiming for mediocre at this point. But I am convinced they were determined to have a bad week from the get-go. They liked nothing. I was sure they hated me. This all got worse on the last worship night of the week, where we have a night of prayer with the work groups we had been separated into over the week. We would have somebody sit in a chair in the middle of the circle while everybody else took turns praying for them. Within this group was a shy middle school girl. She hardly talked all week, despite my best efforts to get to know her. When we were about 20 minutes into the night of prayer, I noticed she would shuffle around and kept moving. At first, I thought nothing of it. Then, a bit later, I heard what sounded like quiet running water. I opened my eyes during the prayer and was looking around for a source of the noise. When I found it, it took everything in me not to gasp or make a sound. I watched in horror as the poor girl peed her pants.
What?
I was in shock, but when I noticed just how large the puddle was getting, I slipped away from the prayer circle and went out to the hidden back entrance to the sanctuary and started running around looking for other interns and a mop. Every time I found one of my fellow interns, they thought I was joking. When I told them a student peed their pants, they all believed me when we saw the girl being escorted out by a mom on the trip. Our goal was to clean up the puddle without any of the other groups noticing something was going on, so the girl wouldn't be more embarrassed than she already was.
How old is the girl?
Why did she? Yeah.
I
Why
don't
did she
know.
pee? I don't understand the context of the. of the peeing.
There was no way to do this without making a scene, so we laid out some paper towels and had to go on with the rest of the service because the other groups were wrapping up their prayers. I had to get back on stage and lead the rest of the service, knowing there was a puddle of pee just sitting in the sanctuary. As soon as the service was over, we sent the group to bed. All the interns had to clean up the mess. Needless to say, from that week on, we told the students to use the bathroom ahead of time, or that they could simply step out if they needed to go. Us interns actively avoided that corner of the sanctuary for the rest of the summer. Thanks for keeping up the podcast. I look forward to listening to it every week and have plenty more stories where this came from. Rebecca.
Interesting.
I want to know how old these kids were.
Maybe it was just a really, I'm assuming youth group. So anywhere from like 12 to 18.
Dang.
Because kids younger than that don't get sent on mission trips, right?
There is I tried to get Stefan Light, who was on the show before.
The one about crack or barrel.
Yeah. He has a really funny story about, he was at a camp and, there was like a middle schooler who was not potty trained.
Oh, I think he told that story.
Did he?
He told it on the podcast, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, crack or barrel. That episode.
Okay. Yeah, this kid, like, his mom just said of him, like, he'd get like, you know, soiling his pants, and they're like, oops, let's clean you up. And then he would soil his pants again. They're like, oh, let's clean you up. And so come to find out, the kid had like 20 pairs of underwear in his case. Just because the mom, I guess,
he did.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I remember
golly,
that.
man, it's rough. All right, this might be the last one. Last email. This is from Rachel Johnson.
Hold on, let me pull up a copyrighted song to play.
I need to get you a link to some copyright-free music.
My bad. I just
Just
wanted to
some-
spice things up every
Just
now
some
and then.
jazz jams. You can choose the genre, the emotion. It's not as cool as popular music.
No
but it's just
more
sort of like,
NFL SpongeBob.
No, you can't. We're not making money off monetization. It doesn't matter. The subject, this is a bold one. 2 great church stories. Okay.
Will be the judge of that.
Okay, Rachel Johnson. Hey, Shama, PD, Chase, and guest.
Did she actually put Chase, or did you add that?
No, she did.
Chase hasn't get snubbed.
A few years ago, our church's choir got invited by another church on short notice to go caroling. At a school for the blind. It's a boarding
Why
school.
is that funny?
I don't
Guys?
know. I don't know. Maybe
I
because
didn't laugh.
the setup is, I don't know where it's going. Hey, shout out to all our blind listeners. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Not viewers, because... sorry. Now I did the problematic thing.
He had the high road, then he found an exit. It's a boarding school, and most of the kids had gone home for the holidays, but the kids that were there gathered to hear us sing Christmas carols. This is in quotation marks. Is that what are the brackets? We had not had any opportunity to practice these carols, and we were joining up with another choir we had never met. So we really were not very good. After we sang, the pastor from the other church got up and gave an old-fashioned gospel invitation. He said, now with everyone's heads bowed and eyes closed, no one looking around, if you want to accept Jesus, come down to the front and let us pray for you. We were horrified. This man told a bunch of blind kids to close their eyes and stop looking around. It doesn't get more cringe than that.
That is a good story.
Number 2, a couple years ago, I was youth group leader, and I was a youth group leader, and I chaperoned a weekend retreat that our youth group attended. It was a small retreat, only 50-ish teens, 50 teens total, and it was held at another church. Throughout the weekend, me, the other chaperone, kept getting yelled at by this man who was helping in the kitchen. She was constantly reminding us of where we needed to be and giving us condescending stages. Getting yelled at by this mom. Sorry, I said man. By this mom who was helping in the kitchen. She was constantly reminding us of where we needed to be and giving us condescending stares. We couldn't figure out what this lady had against us. Finally, in the final session, the kids were told to split up into our individual youth groups to pray with our leaders. This lady walked up to our group and demanded to know where our leaders were. Apparently, she thought the two of us were kids the whole time, and that's why she kept telling us what to do. I was 22 at the time and maybe could have passed as 18, but the other chaperone, he was 26 with a beard, tattoos, and a wedding ring. Thanks for all you guys do. Love the pod, Rachel.
Some about them Karens, man.
Hey, look. When you're around young people that often, like when I was in youth ministry, I used to tell you guys, I was like, you guys are all 12 to me. It doesn't like, you have to, unless you have a birthday, then I'm like, oh, how old are you turning? Other than that, you're 12 to me. You're 12 to me. Maybe that's just I'm a millennial turning into a boomer.
You're
get off my lawn.
Shama would walk around with a cigar. He's like, you're all 12.
You're all 12.
All of you. 12.
I just turned 24. Darn it.
It's time to wrap up, fellas.
Guys, okay, thank you, Chase. This was email extravaganza, y'all. Also, extravaganza is too long of a word, PD. Are we sticking with that?
I mean, what else?
Maybe we'll
workshop it right now.
Is there going to be the one about email extravaganza one?
Yeah, I think that.
Or we just call it
one about
the email
the
extravaganza.
email extravaganza. How many emails do we read? Like 6? What is the proper number of
what
extravaganza?
constitutes an extravaganza?
Well, the one idea I had, which was not going to be fun for us, would be like we just read all the emails, and it would take us like 4 or 5 hours, and we just record that and put it out. Nobody would want to listen to that, or
You wouldn't want to edit it. Like you
wouldn't
would
be
probably
much
just
editing.
delete
it wouldn't
the
be
file.
too much. It would just take as long as it would to listen to it. But yeah, that would be.
I mean, you comb through them and stuff, though, right? Like, would you really want to have to comb through that much of a podcast?
Maybe. I mean, not really. I think the pods usually now is just if there's anything that sticks out that I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I need to cut out that part that PD was homophobic for about 7.
All
I
right.
shouldn't say that. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
he has to do that every episode.
Every episode, there's a little rant. No, I don't do.
I don't want to defend myself right now because
then
I'm
it-
like then it makes sense.
Let me fix it.
Makes it real.
I mean, the only thing I cut out, I just will go through them to make sure that I don't know. There's nothing we say that we might regret.
And there are a lot of those moments.
Is there an edit in this episode? You'll never know.
Well, since we're only doing one cam, it's a little easier to see when there's a cut, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Shut up. Not if I punch in, make it a medium, and then I make it a wide. You're like, wait a second, it's in 4K. I can do whatever.
This nameless figure just made a great point.
Speaking of nameless figures, let's check in with our nameless figure.
Nice to meet all you guys. My name's Chase.
Guys, welcome, Chase. He's new to the show.
Chase awareness has increased in the past year.
Well, this podcast was just a 2-man show for a long time, so I couldn't imagine people be like, I don't know. Should I even acknowledge? Yeah,
A lot of people probably wish it would go back to a two-man show.
Not me and Shama.
Nah.
We like having another person to fill time.
You know how much work this podcast involved? You had to set up the Patreon and the Discord. Those are 2 things PD and I would have never done.
I would have gotten halfway through and been like, hey, I got locked out of everything.
And then I would have been like, we'll figure it out. Then 6 months would have elapsed. That's how you and I work.
Yeah.
Checking in with Chase. Me and Robert's new short film. We've been working on that. We had a rehearsal for it the other day.
Yes, how'd that go?
It went really well. We had everybody except for one cast member.
Oh crap! Were they important? Were they?
Yeah. So our Chris Freeland was going to be the kind of the male lead, and he had to drop out last minute.
Oh.
For paid work. He wanted to get paid.
Wow.
Boo.
Yeah.
What a loser.
I know.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to find a new one for that, but Robert found someone that I think he's very excited about, and yeah, we had the rehearsal. It was really fun. I'm happy because I get to play the bad guy this time, and that's a lot more fun.
There's actually a Jason Bateman song about that.
I'm the bad guy. and a YouTube strike.
But yeah, that's all that I've got going on, really.
Yeah.
Going to
listeners,
Portland.
I listened to the last episode of your podcast.
Written by.
And I implore the listeners to, if you think Shama's the villain, go. I'm not going to tell you where the joke is, but Chase makes a joke that it caught me off guard.
Which episode?
The last one.
With Abby?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say it on here, but...
Yeah, but go listen to
What is
it,
the- what is
and
the
if
joke
you
about?
find it, message me.
I'll tell you after.
Golly!
It was
Who's the executive producer of Written By?
me and Robert.
Guys, Chase is problematic.
Y'all need a standards and practices person.
It killed in the room.
It killed me too. I laughed really hard. I was like, wow.
Well, when me and Robert started doing Written By, it was like we're gonna allow a little bit more than church stories would allow.
Yeah.
And
As y'all should.
that's where that joke comes from.
Yeah. So go search for it, guys.
It's the
Dig
episode,
it up.
the Gorilla Joke of 1897 with Abby Gilbert. That's the name of the episode.
Which is it was a wild ride.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw that, the promo y'all did for the post y'all did announcing Abby. I was like, man, it's on brand, dude. The black and white. I love that, dude.
Robert is a genius.
Y'all are freaking, oh, man.
Robert is very good at what he does.
So many talented people. So many talented people on the team. Even the secular side of after school program.
I'm the secular saint.
Actually, the secular saint, Chase Bridges. The whole ASP empire has a secular. Everybody is on the secular side. Yeah. We play both sides so we come out on top.
And I'll give Chase his props. It was a great, albeit problematic, but great joke.
Thank you. That's what I was going for.
I just like that PD was able to recognize something problematic.
Yeah,
It's rough.
Usually I'd have to explain real slow and use a chalkboard.
Yeah, usually
kind of
I'm Ray Charles when it comes to
It wasn't that
that
bad.
was probably problematic.
I would argue my joke.
He's the Ray Charles of identifying problems.
I would argue that my joke wasn't that much worse than your blind joke
Just now?
from earlier.
Listeners, go find it, and we'll have this conversation.
Hey, PD, what's your praise report besides being problematic?
Problematic.
My praise report is that, I love Starbucks and I appreciate Starbucks, even though real coffee heads like Eric.
From last episode.
Yeah, not into it.
You pulling up with a Starbucks here on this episode, dog?
Yeah, I got it right here. My white mocha, hot, no whipped cream. That's my order now.
Nice.
2/3 decaf, half chocolate. No, that's a Patreon episode reference, guys. I'm sorry.
I pulled up with a high C fruit punch in a Wendy's cup.
So we got Wendy's, Starbucks, and Liquid Death.
Yeah, represent. Also, I just ordered a bunch of liquid deaths.
Nice.
That's what happens when people support the Patreon, baby.
And
we get to be hydrated, baby.
Everyone thought I was ridiculous for mountain can water. But then Andrew
That's the official drink.
And Dave and now Eric. We found out Eric's stealing them.
Yeah, we gotta put a lock on.
We're spending our Patreon money for these other people to drink our drinks.
To hydrate Eric.
Man. We might need to put a lock on the mini fridge, y'all. I hate to be that person.
Yeah,
Man.
We might have to lock.
How about we just leave one can out for Eric and
One
the rest are locked?
everybody else? Y'all can just take sips. COVID's over.
And then
take
put a note on it. Eric.
How about a community liquid death?
Let's wrap this up.
We were at Grace and I and the kids were at the park last week, and I had a kite, the kids' kite, which is actually just my kite because I fly. Real thugs fly kites.
Yeah,
Right.
and
And ride razor scooters.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Razor scooter
That
too, man.
founding
I was out
father
yesterday,
energy.
dude. That's
Thomas Jefferson, sucker. That's a wrestling reference.
Oh yeah, PD. What? What was I? Oh yeah. And I had this kite, and Pete. I was telling there was this little girl with her mom and her brother, and she was really interested in the kite, and I was like, "Would you like to fly it?" And she goes, "Yeah." And Ezra was like, "No, no." And she looked at Ezra. She couldn't have been like a year or so older than Ezra. And she looks at him and she goes, "Sharing's caring." sharing is caring, you know? And didn't respond to that. It was just sort of like, what? This was such a foreign concept to him. She was like, sharing is caring. And then took out, like, just ran with the kite. And I was like, Ezra, sharing is caring. And he was like, no. And so I thought in my mind, I was like, oh, wow. He's just now learning. I don't even know if he knows what caring is. So now he's like, shoot, I just figured out this sharing thing. Now I got to learn this caring thing. Now I got to implement this into my almost 3-year-old life. That's difficult for a kid, man.
I believe it.
It's that Marina and the Diamonds tweet where she said, like, shocked and upset to learn that the world does not revolve around me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you do figure that out, man, it changes your perspective.
We never figured that out.
You might even start a podcast with your buddy and add a no name later. I'm just kidding.
A nameless, faceless figure. Blur him out in post.
Why is that guy in the corner? Sharing is caring, you know?
No.
No.
Sharon is Karen, you know?